Gotta remember to unhit the mute button. I don't know why it's automatically on when I come on. Maybe that's just for a purpose, but gotta remember to hit it or I'm talking to myself. So, just coming on to hang out for a little while I paint. And I'm going to leave the camera this direction this time to see if it's easier to read the chat. Because last time it was really hard to read the chat. Let me turn my notifications down. Hello. Welcome and say hi. See if I can get the chat to come up. Sometimes it takes a minute. There's a delay though, right, on these things? I do believe. So I'm just painting on the lettering I've been painting on for a while. But I'm doing the other part. Oh no, my brush is not wanting to cooperate. That's not good. Not good at all. Shoot. Sometimes if I just spin the bristles, it fixes it. I don't think it's gonna. We got problems. Hello! I'm doing okay. How are you, Mr. Ben? How's your snow doing? I'm in Minnesota, so we have lots of snow right now. And it snowed again earlier. But what's been really weird is it's been snowing off and on all week. Since Tuesday, I think. And the temperature has stayed at 30. Which I don't think I've ever seen. It's been a really wet, heavy, slushy snow. But yeah, the temperature has just stayed at 30. It's very strange. Not usual for, you know, for Minnesota. But we usually don't have this much snow till February. Usually we just get a few little skiffs here and there and then they melt. You guys are in the 30s too? Yeah, I can handle 30s. Once you acclimate to Minnesota winters, by the time spring comes, 30 means that I'm taking my coat off and my hoodie and sometimes putting the AC on in the car. Because you get so used to being like negative 20 that 30 feels really warm. Hard to fathom, huh? Yeah. It is crazy. Crazy. That's how you know you've acclimated to Minnesota, when you start taking clothes off at 30 degrees and you're like, oh, it's too hot, I'm sweating. So yeah, I'm just plugging away on this lettering I'm painting. And I don't need to be super close up on this, so I can just use my regular magnifier. It's so crazy, journals, when I am watching your guys' videos or you're listening to the podcast and like you guys say things that I'm just like, yes, me too. The husband and the son went to a Christmas party, so I am just hanging out and painting, and I thought, well, I haven't gone live in a minute. I'll do another live. Yeah, while I'm sitting here. I do have a question. How do you put an image up and then just have the audio? Like, I know like how to do video, but then how do you just do, like, say I wanted to do a sleep video, and I wanted just an image with just the sound. How do you do that? Is that in part of the editing process? Yes, me time is always good. I don't know why that took me a minute to figure out what you were saying. I mean, they're pretty much always doing their own thing anyway. But, yeah, I'm just kind of sedentary this week. Currently sitting on my heating pad for my lower back. And I have my heater going next to me. Yeah, then at the top middle. Well, no, it can't be for shorts only, because that's what you guys do for the podcast. Goofed right there. Creating my own shadow under my light, and then I goof because I can't see what I'm doing. This lettering takes, like, each one of these bats takes, I would say, 10 to 12 hours of painting. Because the lettering that I'm doing is what I was doing before, but I went over the whole lettering in white so that the secondary color will stand out better. Now I go back around the outline, and then I outline the inner fill. Then I go back and fill it in all the way. So it's a long process for all the letters. I did all the outlines for the other images, so that'll just be like filling in. MP4. Is that through YouTube though? MP4? So is it just settings that I manipulate when I go to make a video then? Maybe I haven't really ever played with it. Ooh, this heating pad's getting a little toasty. Turn it down to medium. Can you hear me okay, by the way? Is my sound okay? I was going to do laundry today, but I just don't feel like going downstairs. I know you and whoever it was on yours the other day was talking about that. It makes it so much harder when you have to go downstairs. Oh, good. I live on a bi-level, I think they call it. And so it's 2 short flights of stairs and then a door. And some days that just seems very daunting. Okay. I'll look around more when I go to do them and see if I can find that then. So I'd like to be able to utilize that for different kinds of videos. But I never have really been able to figure it out. I haven't really looked before. Not like... I mean, I've looked, but not looked. Does that make sense? Not looked while I was thinking about it. Been thinking about doing some shorts of the St. Bernard. Because he's such a goof, but he really just sleeps a lot. If I'd had a mount, I would have done a short... Ooh! My bat rolled. Of brushing him the other day, because I had the... called? The de-shedding tool. And they do. It literally was like unbelievable the amount of fur coming off of him. Because I haven't really brushed him well since spring. So I usually brush him like really, really thoroughly because he blows his coat twice a year. So he's been blowing his coat, but I haven't really taken the time to brush him until yesterday. So far I have a grocery bag full of fur. But sitting on the floor to brush him, and he wasn't really cooperating. He was just like going from side to side and then like on his back because he sleeps on his back. So I was able to get his butt pretty well because his butt gets matted up. But I need like the top of his back, and he keeps rolling on me because he loves being brushed. So he just keeps like rolling in happiness. I'm like, bro, lay still. Meatball's a short-haired dog, huh? I think we've always had short-haired dogs. We had a puppy once that had long hair, but he didn't work out. That was like 15 years ago or more. And then we had a boxer and a Rottweiler and a chocolate lab. I don't mind the short hair so much, but this long hair is BS. Glad my cat doesn't really let me brush him. Yeah. Oh yeah, they all still shed. His is like, but his like tail hairs can be like that long. They're just insanely long. They got those big, beautiful, bushy tails. My coworker last year for Christmas got me a mug that says everything tastes better with dog hair in it. Because I'm always complaining about the dog hair. Like, literally right now, I just looked down at my pants. See if I can pull something. Hold on. My back would quit rolling on me. Go like scrape my pants just a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Like, it's all like that. My hoodies, my pants, my slippers. Like, I would have to vacuum 3 times a day to keep it kept up with. It's just insanity. And I don't have the energy for that. I wanted to get a Roomba, but it would have to be a self-emptying Roomba, because that thing would, I think I talked about that before. It would have to empty itself like probably 12 times plus just to get the upstairs. Because that's where he's at the most often, so that's where the most hair is. I think it's awesome that you're almost at 100 days. That is pretty cool. 4 times a day. Wow. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's like one less thing to think about, you know? It just does its thing, and you go about doing your other things, like laundry and dishes and litter and refilling water dishes and all that good stuff. I've also been thinking about getting an automatic feeder for the cat, because I am not a cat person, and the cat wanting to eat, the meowing and the following me, like, he gets kicked sometimes because he runs in front of me because he thinks I'm headed to the food, and I'm like, bro, like, you're gonna get yourself hurt one of these days. Why do you find it necessary to go in there with me when I get the food? Wait by your dish. It's very irritating. So yeah, I was thinking about getting an automatic feeder. I was gonna try for one on Black Friday on Amazon, but I Black Friday was a very weird day, and I didn't go on Amazon at all. So I missed all the good sales. But that would definitely make life easier. Because I have never free-fed any of my animals. They've all been too dumb to not eat themselves sick. There you go. Do you have 100 items to wear, though? Other than hats? Oh, gosh. You're gonna be, well, I guess if your house is cold, you'll be nice and warm. That's so funny. We're getting a embroidery machine. 1 second. We're getting an embroidery machine, and I was thinking about if you didn't have a beanie with an anarchy symbol on it, I could totally make one. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you don't already have one. Have a good night, though. I think it's 7:28 p.m. here, so it's got to be about dinner time there, huh? Yeah. Yep, we're getting a big old fancy embroidery machine. Got to practice with some stuff that I can then either gift or sell, you know. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, stay updated. It isn't here yet, but hopefully soon. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. Give the kiddos a hug. Peace and love. Alright. So yeah, it's been a weird week weather-wise here. Lots of shoveling and de-icing. And the roads are good one day and then not good the next. So I had to drive the husband's truck most of the week. I don't usually like driving the husband's truck. I'd rather wreck my car than the husband's truck, you know? But I do feel safer in the truck, and I have four-wheel drive in the truck, so that works. I only had to use it one day, I believe. The four-wheel drive. No, maybe it was two. Maybe it was two. Definitely easier to have the chat reading right side up. So I'm going to leave it like that. Because I don't like trying to read the chat sideways. It's really hard. Oh yeah, last weekend, the kid and I both spent our week on the couch. He had the flu and was very, very sick. He had 103 temperature. And he's on the spectrum, and he has a hard time taking medicine. He got better. By the time it was done, I could get him to take stuff to help with his fever. But the first couple of days, it was pretty rough trying to get him to take any medicine, and he was a very, very sick little boy. Not little. He's 19, but... So yeah, they were telling me at work that if you have to take time off of work and get a doctor's note for a child, the child has to be 19 or younger. Or younger than 19, I think is what they said. However, because my situation is not your average situation, I would have to get FMLA to cover him being sick and being home with him, because he is considered special needs. and he was not able to care for himself whatsoever. I think that's the highest temperature I've ever seen him have. And they can give me points all they want. I'm not leaving my sick child home with no one to care for him with that kind of temperature. It's just not happening. Fire me. I don't give a shit. The companies, these point systems, I get having a point system to some degree. And I get it's to weed out the people that are unreliable or whatever. But at the same time, too many companies use it as leverage to get rid of people they don't like. And or you lose if you're super rigid on it. And, you know, it is what it is no matter what. You lose people that you shouldn't lose. People with a lot of experience and knowledge and who are good workers. You know, but like say they're a single parent. It's hard enough with two parents, especially if both parents work. And I really think there should be some legislation that goes through for companies to be able to protect single parents better if they need to miss work because of issues with children. Especially if the child has special needs. Some companies are really good and they'll work with you and they get it. Other companies, like I said, if they don't find you particularly valuable, they'll use it against you to get rid of you. Because if they can fire you for pointing out, they had a legit reason for firing you. And I think that's bogus. Companies are crying about people not wanting to stay, but then they treat people like they're a bunch of fucking cattle. Pardon my language. Honestly, it's crazy. So yeah, I got points for staying home with my kid because when I did take him to the emergency room, I forgot to get the doctor's note. But it turns out it wouldn't have mattered anyway because he's 19 and not 18. So I got 2 points for missing days to stay home with my sick kid. Mr. Smith, hello. How are you? I know you probably don't want to be called Mr. Smith. Cattle wear. You know, jobs. Treat you like cattle. Just there to do a job and screw any needs you may actually have. I hate working for companies. I'm hoping at some point I'll work for myself. Well, kind of myself. We're getting a embroidery. Yeah, I figured. My bad. We're getting an embroidery machine. That's going to be my business to run. I don't know when it's supposed to be here, but that's I love learning like how machinery works and all of that good stuff, but I'm really not good with, yeah, they do. It's so bad. I'm really not good with computer stuff and programs and stuff, so that's the part that makes me nervous. Yeah, employers are, it's so bad. It's really so bad. And then they boo-hoo that people don't want to work. You know? Well, this isn't the 50s anymore, and it's not ingrained into our heads that we just work a job our whole life and die. Us younger generations, man, we're not like that. And companies have to adapt. And if they don't, I hope they fail. To be honest. I'm currently in talks with my old company to go back. It's back to an hour drive, but yeah, it does take time. I did get my 410s, so I'll have Fridays off to learn the embroidery machine. Does she do embroidery, or does she just do sewing? No, she does embroidery, or no, she does quilting. Gosh, I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, we've already got a couple of people that I know will buy from us, but you know, the strategy is if you're doing like merchandise or something to get a few businesses on board that you make merchandise for, and that becomes your monthly income. Is a couple of businesses where you're doing a couple of orders a month, staying busy, you know, that on top of the laser engraver. We have a laser engraver and we have a CNC, a small tabletop CNC. Oh no, I got water on there. But he hasn't really learned how to run the CNC yet. He hasn't really had time or space. Hopefully, I am kind of a creative type. So I'm hoping that it'll come fairly easily. At least the machine itself. Like I said, the sweet, very cool. Well then I'll stay out of the coin community for merchandise business. I'll let Ida have all that. um, yeah, it's the software part that makes me nervous. The computery stuff. That's cool. I didn't know she did embroidery. I haven't been on Miss Ida's show in so long because I work second shift now, so I'm always sleeping. I was on first shift for about a year when I was coming on the show. But as soon as I went back to second shift, I haven't been on one yet. I'm never up that early. No, for sure. But I don't want to, like, I'm not in the coin community consistently like she is. So I feel like that would be kind of shitty, you know? But I am also in the pagan community, and I'm in, well, really just the pagan community. And painting. I do painting. I do the dot painting that I showed on my last live. So there's that. And then I have a contact from the job I'm currently at who they do like a nonprofit, I don't even know what you'd call it. They do a nonprofit where they just go out and like feed people and they help raise awareness and community events, and they've done a lot of like vigils for people that have gotten shot, kids that have gotten shot. But yeah, him and I were in talks about maybe doing some aprons, some hats. Embroidery is great because it lasts so much longer than silkscreen. It's almost like being able to paint something, but with thread, you know? By the way, in case you didn't know, you probably do, but I'm wearing a mask to cover my teeth. I'm not crazy enough to just wear a mask randomly in my house. So if you didn't already know, that's why I have the mask on. For sure. Yeah, that's true. Very true. I do my interests tend to like come and go, you know, so I do coins for a while and then I kind of fall out of that, and then I do painting for a while, and you know, I do that for a while, and then I do drawings for a while, and then you know, I have jewelry stuff I want to make at some point when I have the space. And so yeah, my interests just kind of circle around and cycle back. For sure. In order to make a living. And it's definitely at the point where if I can stay at home. I mean, I do well at the job that I'm thinking about going back to, but this job that I'm at now has kind of highlighted that I don't do well working with other people. I've gotten myself in trouble quite a few times because I tend to be very direct, and but then I also sometimes don't clarify things. So I've gotten 2 write-ups already. Hello, buddy. This is Odin. Hello, Odin. Hello. Yes. Hi, Pumpkin. Is it dinner time? What time is it? No, it's not dinner time. What are you doing in here? You just coming to say hi? Alright. There he goes. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I know I just kind of come and go a lot for the coin stuff, but so yeah, I've gotten myself in trouble a couple times at this job already. I just got written up again the other night, and I'm ready to go. Thank you. He is a big slobber bug that leaves hair everywhere. He's a good boy. I was so impressed with him the other night. I came home Thursday night, and the door to the front closet, his dog food is it's like, we got a dog food bin, but we have old food in there, so the current bag sits on top of that. And the door was wide open for I don't know how long, and he hadn't touched it. I was like super impressed. I praised him all up on one side and down the other for that, because he could have easily gone in there and just chowed, but he didn't. He's a good boy. I think he's going to be 4 in July. He's about 160 pounds, 170 pounds. Might be more than that, I don't know. We haven't weighed him in a while. But, yeah, I was just saying earlier that I brushed him yesterday. I have a grocery bag full of fur. And I haven't even finished brushing him. I only did like the preliminary. St. Bernards have a lot of fur. A lot of fur. He's generally pretty gentle. He does not know how big he is, so there are times that, you know, like he's shoved me onto the couch before, just flailing his body onto me. So I've learned exactly what mood he's in, and if I think he's going to get too rambunctious, I just go over by a wall or a couch. And I definitely always tell people that are getting big dogs, the first thing you work on is stairs training, if you have stairs, because that could be real bad if he's trying to rush down the stairs at the same time I am. Early on, he knocked me down the stairs once, but they're carpeted, so I didn't get hurt. Still scary, though. I think he's knocked my son and my husband down at least once. He does. He literally came and sat on me the other day. Yeah, but then the chat's sideways when I turn my phone. And it makes it really hard to read. Let's see. Oh, let me go the other way. There. Yeah. Let me crank it up a little bit. Whoa. There we go. Yeah, so he literally came, I think I was just trying to scratch behind his ears. And the next thing I know, he was like sitting on me. And of course, when he sits on me, he always like pins my arms to where I can't, I can't do anything. So I'm like pinned up against the couch. And generally, if you just give him, if you can get your hand to give him a couple of butt scratches, and then, you know, I just like tap his butt and go, okay, that's all. Then he'll get down. He doesn't do that very often, thankfully. But yeah, he's, he definitely dwarfs me when he sits on me. I look and feel very tiny. I mean, I am tiny, but not that tiny. He's a goober. He's pretty smart. He'll tap his water dish and his food dish when he needs one or the other. And I looked at the clock because he usually comes in at 10:30 for dinner. So I was like, wait, is it 10:30 already? And then he also taps the back door to go outside, and then taps it to come back in. So he did all that himself. He's just smart like that. He's a good dog. I wish he was better leash trained so we could take him places more, but it is what it is. He's so big, you know. Honestly, if you get a dog that big, you should really, if you're not going to do training, you should pay for the training because it's definitely worth it. Yeah, he is very smart. Not always, but usually. He does have his moments, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. You know, I've been pleasantly surprised how smart he is. I swear he understands what I'm saying. It's crazy. I was thinking about getting him those talking buttons, but he can already be kind of demanding. And I thought, if I get him talking buttons, he's going to be like yelling at me constantly. I don't know if that's a good idea. And if I did get talking buttons, there would have to be a please, because he would have to use his manners. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I've been wanting to do some shorts of him because he's so funny. But I never seem to catch the funny on video. I'm always doing other things. So, I don't know if you watched any of the other shorts, but I'm painting on a laser engraved customer's product that I can't show because it's got private logos. But that's what I'm doing when I'm looking down, is painting on this customer order. And they take 10 to 12 hours each. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left to do. Yeah, so I generally spend my weekends doing that at the moment, trying to get these done. I've already done, I think, 6 or 8 of them. And they're pretty intricate. But the lettering is a little bit less tedious to some degree, at least till I get to the last part of it. So I don't have to be super close to the item to be able to do the painting, but I literally have a magnifying glass that when it gets real intricate, I have to take and use my little, this part of it, and just get right up in there while I'm painting to be able to get into the little tiny lines. I really should just get one of those visors that kind of has a magnifier on it. It would probably be easier, but right now I just use one clip to my desk, and that works pretty well too. It's got a light on it too. All the little gadgets I've had to get to help me do these kinds of things better. Do you have snow over there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I know you've got medical stuff, right? That's why I choose activities that I can adapt to sitting down, or, you know, whatever the case is. I wish I could sit while I was doing dishes or cooking, but yeah, some days it's just too overwhelming. Too overwhelming. So I was saying earlier, I need to do laundry, but it's down 2 flights of stairs, and I just don't have it in me to go up and down the stairs today. Yeah, we got all week. It's been like slushy wet snow. And it's been in the 30s. We typically don't have this much snow that stays this long until February. So it's been an interesting week, weather-wise. You're in Ireland, right? If I remember right. I know here in Minnesota it's the reason the snow hasn't been so bad is because it's been like 30 degrees steady. Usually, well, it'll probably still get that way in January, February. I'm honestly kind of glad we're almost through December already. But we get so used to the negative 20 degrees that when it hits 30 come springtime, we're turning the AC on and taking layers off because we're sweating. That's how you know you've acclimated. Yeah, slushy snow it's so bad. Scotland, that's right. I knew it was Scotland or Ireland. Somewhere very green. It's been, well, it sucks because my kid went to snow blow the driveway the other day, but it was so wet and heavy that unless you had a big snow blower, it wasn't moving it. It was just clogging it. So he had to do all that heavy shoveling, that really wet, heavy snow. And it doesn't clean off the windows like it normally does. Stepping in like 3 inches of slush in the parking lot. I made the mistake of hopping out of the truck the other night and just slush everywhere. I was like, oh crap. All over my pants and my boots. So I changed how I got in and out of the truck the rest of the night. Because that wasn't cool. Hello, kitty Memo. The heater just went off. The light probably changed a little bit, huh? Because my heater went off. Oh, okay. I studied all that, like the land part of it. A little bit, might have been about a year ago now. As I was trying to figure out, like, the whole Britain, Great Britain, England, Ireland, Scotland, like that whole thing. And I was like, okay. But I have now forgotten. So thank you for the reminder. Kitty, don't come in here just to clean yourself. I am not a cat person, and I really don't like the sound of animals cleaning themselves. It irritates me greatly. Kiki Memo. Hey. He's also got one eye half closed today, which is very strange. I kind of looked at it earlier and didn't see anything. It doesn't feel swollen. It doesn't look goopy. It's not red. So I don't know what's going on with his eyeball. Maybe he accidentally scratched himself or something. You're mad about anything with an engine in it? Because engines are annoying? It's so funny to me how, like, before this kind of weather hits, it's like mostly cars in the parking lot at work. And then all the crappy weather comes and it turns into, like, all trucks. Like, oh, all these people have trucks that they don't drive because of the gas prices. But now that the weather's crappy, gotta sacrifice the gas prices to drive safe. Drive safer, I should say. Does come in handy, I tell you what. I don't like driving my husband's truck, but I'll do it in this weather. I don't get thrown around the slushy roads as much as I do in my car. Kitty, kitty, meow, meow. He likes to hide under my chair that I sit in because the dog can't get to him. So yeah, I'm just, I got done outlining earlier and now I'm filling in on my lettering. I've learned over time that it doesn't have to be perfect the first go round. Just kind of get a rough, not too rough obviously, but a rough go of it, and then any little touch-ups that need to be done I do all at the end, and it seems to go a lot faster that way than trying to be perfect the first time. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's one of those things in life that has just always perplexed me, and I don't know enough for it to be interesting, if that makes sense. But I did think about going to small engine repair class at one point, because I like to be able to fix things, and I like to have the knowledge to fix things. If I could be an eternal student and you know, go to school for all those things, I definitely would. But I am definitely not the person that's going to be doing a job and working at the same, or going to school at the same time. I can barely, you know, keep up with normal life and work a job. Going to school and working is I don't know how so many people do it, man. Sarge, stop. Oh, maybe his eye is fine now. Sarge. Kiki. I think his eye is open all the way again. Well, when you break it down like that, that makes it easy. Yeah, really, it's true. That's funny. Yeah. I know, you know, I know things like, I definitely have a spark plug that's, hold on, I gotta get this hair out of my mask. The spark plug that's missing, because I can hear it missing. And I know that my power steering pump is going out, because I know that sound. And I know that I need my oil changed right now. That's about, I mean, there's a couple things. I also have a bad strut, because I know that sound. I don't know how I know those sounds, but I know what they are. The only one I didn't know, and it wasn't really making a sound, was my electronic throttle control went out last summer, I think it was, or last spring. Might have been 2 years ago. And that just, that was a nice, easy fix, though. Really? When did that happen? So it's kind of like, with welding, it doesn't work as well without the gas. And it gets injected into the weld, basically. Huh. It's always so sad when people leave us. Yay, that lettering is done. We'll let that dry for a minute. I've also learned I have to let things dry or I lay my hand in it and then get it everywhere. A couple of weeks ago. Wow. Yeah, and that's another thing that kind of why I ended up this go round kind of pulling away in the coin community was when Lincoln passed away and then Amy passed away. I was just like, I can't deal with all the loss, you know. I just barely stay above level with my own mental health, you know, and when we lose people like that, and I know that everybody else is sad too, makes it really hard. Really hard. Man. Sometimes it feels like, you know, half the old school people are going to be gone. Wait, what? Really? Oh my gosh. So sorry to hear that. Man. Crazy. Hello, Mr. Odin. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, he wants butt scratches. Oh, look. Dog hair. It just floats on him. He wants loves. He wants loves. Loves. Look at that big, massive head. I can't even begin to reach across it. Are you good, buddy? Do you need to go potty? Is that why you're coming in? You need to go potty? Oh, look, more hair. I just spent like 2 hours brushing him last night. Do you need to go outside? Do you need water? Water? Go outside, go potty? Neither? It's too early for dinner. What's up, bud? What's up, buddy? What's up? Maybe he just wants loves. I know, that's what I'm saying. When Peavy died, that one really hit me hard too. And I had been gone for a while then too, and then came back and found out he had passed. And the time that I was gone, I was still listening to all of his videos because they were so long I could just sit and listen for, you know, a long period of time. So, you know, it was so weird that whole time I'd been away, but I'd still been listening to him to find out that he'd been gone, you know. It was just, it was a really weird feeling. Yeah, that's... Kathy wouldn't have been that old, would she? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Lincoln was one of the first few people I met in the community, you know, that chatted with me. That one was rough. You know. Yeah, it's crazy. And then, you know, people move on, like Lemonhead, you know, he hasn't been on hardly at all. He's doing other things, and kind of that group that was not together, but that group that was all there when I first started in the coin community. So many of them are gone now, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I do still have lots of coins though. Like, I've been collecting my change for like ever. So I have one change jar to go through. And then I have a big jug up here that I'm filling. I don't know where I even got this. I have no idea where it came from, but yeah. I might have gotten it when I worked at the recycle center, but I doubt it. So yeah, I'm working on filling that to go through at some point. Yes, definitely. I spent a lot of time in Lemonheads too. Him, Peavy, and I think him and Peavy were the first two that I started like hanging out on their channels. Pretty sure. Then I listened to a lot of who's the guy on the Q&A that does so many videos? I don't know how he does so many. Sean. I watched a lot of Sean's videos, and then I was on Shane's channel for a while, but that whole situation has changed. I do like toned coins, and I like errors too. I even have I have my Durbin hockey puck right here on my desk when I paint. And I have my last giveaway. I don't know, was this? I think this was Durbin's. I think this was the Durbin's. It's a 2016. My camera's not great, and I don't know how to get it to focus well. It's not going to focus. But it is a... Hold on, let me go to my magnifier. 1 ounce, 1/10 ounce Plata Pura. So what this says? Pura? Yep. 2016 LEY 0.999. It's like flawless too. I mean, the details are a little mushy, but it's flawless. Oh, there we go. Estados Unidos Mexicanos. God, it's a pretty coin. Super cool. So yeah, I won a lot of giveaways. I was very lucky. Yeah, pennies is my favorite. I love the variety of pennies. For not only for errors, but for varieties. And they're so darn cheap. I'm definitely a penny girl. That's why the jar that it's like no pennies, because I already went through all the pennies. I have a hard time with the silver. The silver coloring I can only do for shorter periods of time under magnification before my eyes start getting real weird on me. So I usually go through the silver tone coins a little bit slower. Of course, my husband and son think my whole penny obsession is hilarious. We have 3 people in here? What? That's the most I've had so far, I think. Right, shipping is just ridiculous. That'd be cool. I can only imagine from where you're at, the shipping is probably even worse. It makes it really hard. I've been selling stuff on Facebook, and it's really hard to judge the shipping until it gets ordered, and then it depends on where it's going, of course. So, like, there's been maybe 2 times that I've made a buck or 2 on the shipping. Something fell over. But more often than not, I lose a couple bucks on the shipping. So, yeah, and shipping's gone up so much. So I've just been like putting 10 for the shipping for most things because everything's either 8 or 12, you know. So it makes it really hard. Even if it's really small and if it's really light. I shipped one of these boxes, right? Little tiny thin box of bubble wrap packets. Like the little envelopes of bubble wrap. That's all that was in there. I shipped them to California to Lemonhead, and it was like $9 to ship. I was like, it doesn't even weigh anything. Why is it $9? Ridiculous. Makes it hard to be able to do nice things because the shipping's so darn expensive. Are there coin channels out of Scotland? Like, is coin collecting a thing over there? Like it is here? And what got you into American coinage, anyway? Can you spend it over there? Like, if you, like, say times got tough and you had to spend it, would you be able to spend it over there? Right. Well, we're always glad to have you, that's for sure. You can believe how the Americans are with what? Everything? We're a bunch, aren't we? Bunch of crazies. I mean, look where we live and look at the bullshit we deal with. Politicians. Corrupt. Our systems are falling apart. And instead of fixing them, they're getting worse. Healthcare is a joke. There's no regulation on the healthcare prices. It's ridiculous. Hello to my other two silent people. Leave a like. Sub if you aren't already. Make sure the chat's still moving up. Well, yeah, for sure. Being part of something. I was just curious, you know, if it would even be usable over there. I know I couldn't spend your currency here. That's crazy. Coins from all over the world are so cool. I mean, that's just the concept itself of all the different coins in all the different countries from all over the world is pretty cool. But I assume there's some kind of coin community in every country, because every country's currency has history, you know. But maybe it's just because Americans are a little bit silly with our obsessions. We get a little obsessive. Just a wee bit. So for any of the other people in the chat or in watching that don't know why I'm wearing a mask in my house, it's because I'm covering my teeth. I'm not crazy enough to wear my mask in my house. I'm literally just covering up my gross teeth. In case you're curious. I actually had one guy on the last one that said he almost left, and I happened to be explaining that. right as he came in. So then he was like, oh, okay, I'll stay. This is true, and I have lots of questions about everything. I always warn people when I start a new job. You know, I ask a ton of questions. I want to know how everything works all the time. That's how my brain better understands things, is the more detail I have, the more I understand how things go together and work together. However, the job I'm at now, they don't like my questions. Basically, it's most of the things that I've kind of, well, not most of, but some of the things that I've kind of asked to try to figure out the bigger picture of things. You know, it was like, not that it's privileged information, but it was like above my pay grade is basically how it was put, which I thought was super interesting. Which is why I applied for the supervisor position. But I am so thankful now that I did not get that supervisor position, because I would not want to be a supervisor there. My first supervisor I had there, he was going to be changing shifts and was like, you'd make a great supervisor, and I went and applied for it, and turns out that one of the guys that interviewed me, he and I do not, we're not fond of each other, and he really doesn't like my directness, which I couldn't figure out why until we started having meetings together, and I found out that he has not much spine, and he can't even, like, project when he speaks. He mumbles. He can't look at people when he talks. He just, yeah. How he's a supervisor, I don't understand, but whatever. But, yeah, we have ended up not really, I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me much more than I like him, which is fine. He just can't handle that I tell the truth. But the problem is they don't want to listen. They assume that things that I'm saying is I'm attacking people, but they don't want to ask questions deeper and find out that, no, I'm really not attacking anybody. I'm attacking the processes that need to be improved. The people are great. Yes, definitely. You know, right down to the numbers. I want to know why people do what they do. Why does a business do things this way versus that way? Why do cats follow you to get their food? So many questions. Another thing I've learned with doing all this painting is to only put little small amounts of paint out at a time, because otherwise it dries up and you waste half of it. So I'm always putting a little bit more paint out, just a little dab at a time. Gosh, my tummy is just growling and making all kinds of noises. I haven't eaten yet today, that's probably why. Well, that would make sense. I have a really bad habit about not eating till about this time of day. All of a sudden I'm like, gosh, I'm hungry. I wonder why. I think it's because I fill up on coffee for the first couple hours. I think I had 3 cups of coffee this morning. So now that the coffee's all ran through me, my body's like, hey, how about some food, lady? Alright, I just got a little bit of this blob of paint left. And then I'm going to go grab some more eggnog. So I bought a little jug of eggnog I'm working on finishing up today. Do you like eggnog? Oh, everybody left. Nobody said goodbye. How sad. Or at least it says nobody's in here. Well, maybe that's my cue to go eat something. As soon as I finish this dab of paint, I'll end the live and go eat something so that my tummy stops growling at me and gurgling. All right. Gosh, are they talking about how employers treat people in the next room on my husband's TV too? All right. Streamlabs says that I have nobody in here, so I'm going to end this live. Thank you everybody who joined me. Please hit that thumbs up, and we will talk to you later. Bye.